Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be covering Blood Tree by Peter J. Tomasi, to which this is the final issue of this, and hopefully there'll be more that will come after this one. And last but not least, Gargoyles by Weissman. I'll now get things organised for the first one that will be reviewed. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it is, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. I'll now move to showing the internal art around the beginning, middle and end, and also what's happening story-wise. So as we move into the beginning of the story, we have Detective Azaro looking to find where his partner is, and in this we get a bit of a hard truth this time around, and it looks like he has now lost his partner. As we draw closer to the middle of the story, we have Detective Azaro, who has finally traced the suspect to somewhat like a type of dry cleaning area, and which he's basically organizing a whole lot more murders to be done in the area of Manhattan, or in New York, or the Bronx. Slowly drawing towards the end, to which he finally confronts the suspect. And last but not least, we move towards the end of the story, to which, of course, the father is still concerned about his son. So is he right to be concerned, or is this just a small phase which his son is going through? I guess we'll probably find out in volume 2 of the series when it gets announced, whenever it gets announced. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Moving into the next thing, the area of the story. First things first, did we have anything addressed in the area of time? No, we didn't. The locations, we had Midtown Manhattan. We also ended up going to a funeral in one of the locations, the Bronx in New York, and last but not least, the Azaro home. The cast of characters consisting of Detective Azaro and, of course, Detective Diaz, who ends up passing away, and of course the suspect. For the overall story rating in this, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Gargoyles. So as we move into Gargoyles issue 7, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? As you can see, we've got Demona up in arms in a way, and yes, she is also sort of brought front and center inside in the story, to which I give the cover a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the internal art around the beginning, middle and end, and also some of the things that are happening story wise. So as we move into the beginning of the story, we have the character of Demona making her presence known. We meet up with Goliath and the rest of the crew. The only problem is, I find with this, which I really am going to be criticizing in regards to the story writing, but overall I still enjoyed the story. So we've got Brooklyn, some of the other characters, Goliath, and of course this new person here who is Toby Crest. And last but not least, we have the return of Demona again, and she'll be showing up again in the next issue, as well as Dark Ages. For the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story. Did we get any comic references? No, we didn't. The next is the area of time. No indication of time when this is taking place. It needs to be put in there, because if it's not, I might consider taking points off, and it will no longer be in the sixes. It will no longer be in the sevens. It'll be dropping to the sixes. Next we have location, which should have been pointed out, but it still looks like it's taking place in Manhattan. The cast of characters consisting of Demona, Goliath, Toby Christ, Eliza Marza, and last but not least, Brooklyn. There were more there, but they were not announced by name, and because of that, it makes the characters forgetful. But overall, I still enjoyed the story, to which I gave it a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.